Welcome back, my friends, to the Project Leadership Institute. Today is a very, very quick session, and it's really how to up the ante on your project leadership. To up the ante on your project leadership, you need to be intentional and study leadership. I want you to look around the channel for leadership nuggets, study those, but I'm going to give you a very quick breakdown of leadership. Leadership is many things, but it leads to one composite word. And that composite word that embodies everything is just influence. John Maxwell, my mentor, he says a true measure of leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Influence, the ability to get the team to synergize, the ability to move the needle, the ability to get the team heading roughly west or north or south or wherever they need to be. Leadership is understanding that the influence does not need to come directly from us. It is understanding how to leverage the right channels of influence to get the traction for action that we need, to get the traction for action that the team needs. A great leader understands that leadership is not static. Leadership is dynamic. Leadership is embodied very nicely in the situational leadership model by Hersey and Blanchard. Let's take a very quick look at this model. The situational leadership model has got a couple of axes. The first axis is the level of direction that you give someone. Do you give them a little bit of direction or a whole lot of direction? Okay. The other axis that we have over here is support. Okay. Now, direction, support. We could break this into a quadrant. We could give people a whole lot of direction and not a whole lot of support. And this could happen in a lot of semi-skilled labor, where the skill of the individual doing the work is not as high as some other jobs. It could be a repetitive task that may seem mundane, and we could be extremely directive there and not very supportive because it's just all about getting the work done. In these cases, the individual's already self-motivated. So we call this a directing style of leadership. Sometimes you need to be very directing. Less support needed, more directing. There are other times where you need to be a whole lot directing and a whole lot supporting, and we call this a coaching style. And this is in more skilled labor or more skilled jobs where we have people needing to exemplify skill to a higher degree, emotional intelligence to a higher degree, and we want them to, of course, be driven. That's where we would use a coaching approach. We have a support approach, so we call this a supporting leadership style over here, where the people in this quadrant, they don't need a whole lot of direction. They know what to do, so we don't need to direct them a whole lot, just a bit, but we do need to give them a whole lot of support. It could be someone who's been in the company for a long time, but they feel they're in over their head with a new assignment, or they're just not having a good week or a good period. Good time period. Maybe the quarter has gone sour, they're behind schedule, they're over budget, things aren't working well. We may need to give them that rah-rah, support them, right? And we also call this a participating style, okay? Participating leadership. Last but not least, here we have an approach that we call delegating, and you've probably heard this before. This is when we delegate. This is the business case for delegating, because we need to give people very little support and very little direction, because these folks, they've got it together. They know what to do. They're super pumped. They probably got a position where they're on autopilot with it. A lot of people in the C-suite, VP suite, this approach works well, but it's not to say that they never get here or here. It really depends on the task at hand, what needs to be done. And our approach to leadership should be fluid and dynamic, understanding that at different times we need to give different things to people. So leadership is all about influence, but understand that everyone is different and your approach to leadership could differ. How do you get more influential? Number one, start with a position. Wherever you are, be good and diligent in your position. Understand that the position can only take you so far though. So go to level 2, permission, likability, a ready smile, a warm countenance. Be someone who values people, and things will just work better for you at level 2. The permission level, they know you, they like you. Trust you is even better. But it's one thing to be liked and known and trusted, but it's another thing to actually demonstrate that you are a producer. So that takes us to level 3, the production level, where you are a producer of results, of value. And then level 4 is a people level, where you give into people, you give of your time, you give of your energy, you give of your insights, and people know you're truly adding value to them. All of these are levels that give you inroads in leadership. And the final level, we call it the pinnacle. And that means 1, 2, 3, and 4 are consistently demonstrated, and people accord you the status of a level 5 leader. You get to the pinnacle, and that comes with time. It comes with always checking the box on the other 4 and not ever removing the other 4, because the moment you do, you will fall from that pinnacle. In order to sustain the pinnacle level leadership, whether you're a CEO, VP, direct, whoever you are, you got to maintain those 4. Position, permission, likability, people follow you because they like you. Production, people follow you because of what you've done for the firm. And ultimately, the people, and then the pinnacle. People is people follow you because of what you've done for them. That is leadership in a nutshell. I would love to go through a lot more in leadership with you, and I would invite you and encourage you to look for a link below to projectleadershipinstitute.com. Let's learn together. Let's do great things together. Are you ready? Look for the link and let's go. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.